Well, I mean, I think you could make a case for that, obviously, with a lot of the guys from Strikeforce now being signed on with the UFC. But at the same time, I like to look at the brighter side of things. I see Daniel Cormier as a tougher matchup for Silva than Overeem would have been anyway. So that fight, I think, is tougher for Silva. I think it's going to be exciting for us to call, but it sends up red flags when you see a big name like Overeem signing over with the UFC. Well, I think obviously with Showtime has had good ratings with MMA, whether that be with Elite XC or with Strikeforce or with whatever organization they've gone with. The combat fans have followed, so that's a good thing. At the same time, when you consider the option for Showtime to extend with an organization like Strikeforce, well, if the organization's not making money for Zuffa, the bottom line, like I've said a million times, is the bottom line. And if there is no more Strikeforce, then there obviously is no company to extend a contract with. So you never know. We're just spokes in the wheel, buddy, and we'll just keep calling fights and doing the best we can and hope for something bright in the future. Well, I mean, let's look at it this way. Anybody who's really good on the ground and a really good wrestler can give Overeem some problems. Daniel Cormier fits all of that. Plus, he's got improving boxing skills. I mean, I think he looks a lot better every fight. I think he can strike with Silva if he does it correctly and gets inside. And once he is inside, stay inside. Don't let Silva lay his weight on him, in clinches and allow Silva to get head blums on him. And certainly don't end up on the bottom on the ground underneath Silva because Silva's such a big guy. But I think Cormier is just a very agile, very quick, very powerful, explosive kid, and I think he's going to give Silva some problems just because of his agility. Obviously, MMA being what it is, the fight can end at any time for numerous reasons. But I just think it's a tough matchup for Silva. Well, Haratonov is good at cornering people. Every time when you watch fights of his, when he gets people up against the cage, he unloads on them, and when he lands his right hand, people get hurt. I mean, Arlovsky found that out the hard way, and I saw that, not calling myself an MMA Nostradamus because I've been wrong as many times as I've been right, but that was the one thing that Arlovsky couldn't do is get hung up against the cage against Haratonov, and that's where Haratonov knocked him out, is the way it ended up. So, Barnett has got to be careful, not get trapped against the cage and let Haratonov unload on him. I'm going to give, obviously, the edge to Barnett. He can get the takedowns, I think, on Haratonov and is very, very good on the ground. So he's got the edge there. So it's going to come down to, is Barnett going to be smart and get it to the ground and look for the finishes?